Well, John Friesen here in our beautiful chapel at MBC, and we know that many of you are itching to come up here and enjoy chapel time, but also enjoy the beautiful grounds here at MBC. And it's about time for another bit of a COVID update, and also kind of update you on some of the plans we have for this summer. And so here we are, and this is coming into the May long weekend, and it's a very different May long weekend than last year. Last year was different than the year before. I still remember last year on Thursday of the May long weekend, just before the May long weekend at 2 p.m., the government announced that they would be opening up seasonal campgrounds, and that changed our whole story for the May long weekend. But alas, this year, we're under a stay-at-home order, and so there are some more restrictions in terms of what we can do this weekend. So again, the details are on our website, so if you have any plans to come up to check on your trailer, there's some details there. If you do own a trailer or have a cottage here at MBC, you would have gotten an email with some of the parameters or the guidelines that we need to follow and intend to follow. And so again, make sure you check out our website for that information, or check the email that you would have been sent. But basically, the campsites are closed. The campground, if you have a seasonal trailer, you can come up for a 24-hour period or less, or you can come up for 2 weeks. What I believe they're trying to curb is just the back and forth from different regions. And so that's kind of the parameters they're giving. We will have some public washrooms open. The Nibble Nook will be open, but again, 4 people in the Nibble Nook at a time. And we do require that if you come in any of our buildings, we require you to mask. And we recognize that there are many different perspectives on masking and on the COVID guidelines, but we've decided to really live within the protocols of the government as creatively as possible, but really work with public health so that the long-term trajectory of MBC will be being able to host as many guests as possible and fulfill our mission of growing resilient, biblically rooted families. So I want to talk a little bit about summer at MBC. We're excited. We've got a team of students up here now, university-age students that have come up, and they're prepping the grounds, and they're also preparing for programming for this summer. Many of you already know that we have decided at this point not to have the kids ministry in the morning like we had originally intended or hoped for. We just believe that with guidelines for day camps and some of the guidelines for summer camps, they're still so vague and unknown at this point. We don't believe that we can put together a great program for all of our guests. We might be able to put a program together for some guests, but we know that the numbers would be restricted. So rather than try to do kids ministry in a half-hearted way, we really want to make sure that we're preparing something that all families will enjoy. And so our intention is actually to build a family ministry programming that'll be enhanced from last year. Last year we did the summer at MBC in a box, and this year it'll be summer at MBC in a bag. But we'll actually have some enhanced programming for families after morning chapel. We're actually starting chapel half an hour earlier than in the past, in the mornings at 9:30 rather than at 10. And then between the morning chapel and lunchtime, there'll be a lot of different activities for families to engage in together, whether it's crafts in the Fellowship Center or a hike at Camp Jidawin, different things like that. So we believe that regardless of not having kids ministry or having it, it's going to be a great experience for your family. Some of the other things that I want to update you on, we actually made a decision about a week and a half ago of really changing our Bible teacher roster to be Ontario teachers only. We had 5 teachers from different provinces coming in, but really with some of the interprovincial restrictions that are going on because of the different outbreaks in different provinces, we felt that it was a safer bet to kind of have just Ontario provincial teachers only. And so we've changed our teaching roster from what we had originally broadcast. And so you want to check our website. We've got a great lineup of teachers each week for our 9 weeks of summer. And you can get that update on our website as well. Just go under summer ministry and then under chapel, and you'll see the Bible teacher roster. Also for summer, we want to really let you know what's happening at Camp Jidawin. Some of you may have heard Doug Ford kind of announce that summer camps would open, but it's pretty late in the game to really get staffing together for summer camps, and we still don't know what the parameters and the guidelines will be. So we had already made a decision not to run summer overnight or summer day camps at Camp Jidawin, but what we're going to do is use Camp Jidawin as an extension to family ministry in support of our mission of resilient, biblically rooted families. And so if you're coming up, or if you live in the neighborhood, you'll be able to engage in some really creative excursions at Camp Jidawin. We'll have access to some of the activities there that in the past only the children and the teens that attended Camp Jidawin would have access to. We have a beautiful wall climbing system there. We have high rope system. There's a beautiful waterfront. So there'll be a lineup of excursions that your family can book and engage in at Camp Wajidowin. And the other thing we're doing at Camp Wajidowin is renting out 3 of the cabin units that are there that are self-contained. They have their own washroom, a little kitchenette, and in that way, you can actually have a very private, exclusive camping experience in these cabins. They're a little bit more rustic than MBC resort accommodations, but I believe for many of you families, it'll be just what you're looking for this summer. And so you can check out our website for more information, or even go to the Camp Wajidowin website, mycamp.ca, and get information there. But that's going to be available to you throughout the summer. 3 cabins that you can book and enjoy kind of a secluded time away with your family at Camp Wajidowin. That's going to be a first. The other thing we're doing with Camp Wajidowin is renting out our island. Did you know that MBC had an island? Well, we do. And it's called actually Ouija Island. And so Camp Wajidowin, Josh, together with his team, are going to be preparing that island as a campsite that you can book for a weekend or for a period of time and enjoy camping on an island. And again, that'll be a package deal. So you'll have a canoe that is included with that if you need that. And so we trust that that's going to be a very unique opportunity for your family, a first. And so we trust that that'll be an exciting thing. And so that's some of the updates that I wanted to tell you about. The last thing I just want to mention in this update, and if you've already received the email on Tuesday night, you might have gone to our website to read our latest Compass newsletter, but it's talking about our debt. As many of you know, we've been working to kind of really reduce our debt load over the last 10 years. And by God's provision, we actually ended our COVID 2020 year almost debt-free. We had about $20,000 in long-term debt left, and that's just a glory to God. 10 years ago, we had about $5.8 million in long-term debt. And to reduce that over 10 years to 20,000 is just the providence of God and the generosity of his people to this ministry. And so we're very thankful for that. But what our objective is this year is not only to eliminate that 20,000 of long-term debt, but to really develop a better ebb and flow of short-term operating debt. So at this point, we may end up finishing the year in the black from a long-term debt perspective, but we'll have a need of a line of credit, a significant line of credit throughout the year. And so we want to reduce that by about $500,000. So our objective this year is actually to raise $500,000 that'll pay off all the personal bonds that MBC still has and give us a really healthy operating cycle on an annual basis from a financial perspective. And the really neat story to that is we have a donor who has stepped up and said they will match up to $250,000 of that $500,000 target. And so if you're interested in helping us really demolish the debt and then put MBC on a really healthy annual line of credit footing, we'd love to hear from you and have a conversation with you and share, again, what God is doing, but how that would enable us to really prosper into the ministry that God is giving us to do in future years. So again, John Friesen here, updating you from the MBC Chapel. This weekend, Sunday, we will be having chapel services in here. It will be live stream, so you can go to our website or on our app and catch the live stream. The link will also be posted on our Facebook page, so make sure you like our Facebook page, and then you'll get that link. And again, our chapel service will start at 10 o'clock, and I'll be actually teaching on our first principle of resiliency. And we use that as a team core value as well, and it's Christ-likeness. Or Christ-centeredness. What does it mean to have Christ as the very center of our life? And so we're going to talk about that on Sunday morning. We trust that you can join us and be encouraged by that as well as part of the MBC family. Thanks again, and we look forward to seeing you. As things open up a little bit more, we'll keep you updated further. Thanks again.